You want to know what being an adult is like? It's like having just enough energy to paint one fingernail and then being too tired to do the rest. Good morning, everybody. I apologize for the lighting and sound situation again. I'm thinking there's something wrong with the actual microphone that I have. Maybe it's just a dud because apparently I've had issues with it since I got it. And also it's a rainy day, so it's dark in my house, it's dark in my car, but that's okay because the person we're talking about today is really the star of the show. I'm going to be having his stuff rolling as I'm talking anyway, so you don't have to actually look at my face. For today's Follow Friday, I'm very, very excited to talk about someone who's a new friend to me. I just met him a couple of months ago. His name is DJTomslick, although most people I think just call him Tom or DJ Tom. So I was actually invited to Tom's house for a meeting in which he was planning something secret and special that he hadn't really told anybody about. But Tom's a really incredible guy with a ton of wisdom. My mom actually calls him Reverend Tom because he just has this way with words that is not only incredibly motivating, but is so truthful. One of the times I was on the phone with Tom, I was talking about how, I really want to make more content, but I just don't have the time because I have my job and I need to finish my work first. And Tom said one simple phrase that pretty much I now put everything in context to relative to this phrase, which is, if we wait for work to be done, we'll be dead. He's not wrong. Tom's channel has a couple of different kinds of content, but it basically has two major series going on all the time. That is his bread and butter. One is that he runs an Xbox gaming club and he does live streaming of his games. His club is pretty big. He's got a dedicated amount of followers from all over the world. He's got people that really look up to him and he's really affected their lives. The second part of his channel is his vlogs. Now, Tom had set a goal for himself to reach 100 vlogs before that secret project was released. That secret project was the Day of Joy. If you follow my channel already, then you've seen the Day of Joy video, and if not, you should watch it. Not that my filming is the best in the world, but there were some really awesome, incredible moments from that day that I did manage to capture. Again, wisdom and truth. If there's something you want to think about when you think about Tom, it's wisdom and truth. Tom's vlogs go over all kinds of different topics. I think he originally had started out more or less teaching people and educating them about his service dog, Bear. And Tom does take Bear into schools, and I think once a year he does like a sort of like an educational seminar, for lack of a better term, in which he brings Bear in and he talks to kids about how service dogs work. But then his vlogs kind of expanded off of that. He talks about life, he talks about reality, he talks about his games, his dreams. There's no sugarcoating to anything, and there's no fancy tricks. There's no editing. It's just a friend of his will turn on the camera on his phone and he just talks. He doesn't script anything. He doesn't think ahead of time about what he wants to talk about that day. The moment strikes him and he takes advantage of it. And there's something really refreshing about that. We see there's a lot of vlogging channels on YouTube. It's a humongous category. There's all these little subcategories, and they each have their own celebrities and superstars in those categories, but they all pretty much follow the same formula, including mine, which is that we edit them, we cut out all the things that are not as pretty, or we cut out the things where we don't speak as great as we want to. It just gives it to you as is, and there's something really rewarding about that. It's also a skill. It's a talent to be able to sit down and just tell people what's on your mind. Really important people like Tom kind of get lost in the shuffle of YouTube because it's very hard to stand out when you have certain limitations in the way you can do things. Needless to say, that obstacle obviously hasn't stopped him. He has more subscribers than I do, and he's more successful in many ways than a lot of people on YouTube. But it would mean the world to him, it would mean the world to me if you would go and check out his channel. Let's just put it this way. When Tom wanted to host the Day of Joy, he had people from his gaming club travel from out of state just to come to that day and help him. How many other people do you know would do that for you? And it's not that there aren't good people in the world, it's just it really, really says something about Tom's character that people left their homes, traveled hours away to go to his house and help him make his dreams happen. You don't do that unless you see value in that person. Basically what I'm trying to say is there are hundreds of people that see value in Tom, and there's no way I can put that into words to convince you to go look at his channel because it's something that's so human and so special that you can't advertise it. It's so hot in my car. Good Lord. If you haven't noticed, I'm trying to stick to a more consistent vlogging and posting schedule. Finally hit 100 subscribers. Granted, I was sitting at 98 subscribers for a while, and I told Kristen, and she went and got 2 friends to subscribe. Is that cheating? No, it's not, because your friends should support you in your dreams no matter what, and if friends don't do that, you have crappy friends and you need to get new ones. Also know that I've admitted to myself that I'm really into cars and that's something I really want to pursue as a hobby over the other things I've done in my life as hobbies. I am looking into purchasing a second car that will be pretty much a junker car, but maybe a semi-project car, but one that's a manual transmission. This way I can learn how to drive stick and also practice on a regular basis and not have to worry about beating the crap out of it. The reality is I was saving for a house, but in New Jersey, one of 2 things happens. Either the house is affordable and the taxes are not, or the taxes are affordable but the house is way overpriced. Unfortunately, New Jersey never recovered from the housing crisis. It is still very real today, so that money is essentially just sitting there. I could invest it, I just haven't figured out what way I want to yet, but I might as well take that money and put a portion of it into pursuing something that really interests me, like a car. It also felt really good to admit to myself this month that I just don't find art enjoyable anymore. I had every intention this month on doing Inktober, which if you don't know what Inktober is, it's every year it happens in October. Artists do specifically ink or water-based drawings every day of the month in October. I had every intention on doing it this year, and then as soon as I got this car and realized how much fun I have driving and being interested in cars, I realized I don't have any fun doing art anymore. And as soon as I acknowledged that and admitted it to myself that I don't actually want to do Inktober and I don't actually want to make art anymore, I felt 100 times better. I didn't realize I was holding that in my chest. And a personal goal I'm setting for myself I don't think I'm going to hit it this year before the end of the year, but at least, from now till next October, is I want to convince myself to go to a car meet. I'm very interested in car meets, but I have a lot of anxiety and I'm a major introvert. So new situations with people that are strangers to me is very, very anxiety inducing, to the point where I kind of freeze up, want to throw up, and generally leave immediately. I'd be more comfortable if I already had a friend or someone that was into that scene that I could kind of shadow and not have to say anything, but kind of just follow them around and absorb the culture and the environment around me, and then begin introducing myself to people as I got comfortable. So that's the thing. I'm an INTP on the Myers-Briggs scale. I need to analyze things and really understand them before I take part in them, which is not how social situations work, and this is something I've struggled with for a very long time. That's a personal goal I'm setting for myself, and yeah, I guess basically what I'm saying is I've admitted I don't like making art anymore. I'm dedicated to making consistent content. I feel better now that I've made consistent content. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment. Let me know if there's someone that you think I should check out that I don't already know about. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out Tom's channel. Okay, that's it, guys. Have a wonderful weekend.